inheritance of one gene. Mendel studied inheritance of one gene or particular gene to the next generation in garden pea plant. So to know the inheritance of one gene, Mendel conducted a cross. That cross is called as monohybrid cross. Therefore, inheritance of one gene in the examination question will be asked as monohybrid cross. Monohybrid cross. Okay. So here Mendel has taken homozygous tall pea plant, homozygous tall pea plant is crossed with homozygous dwarf pea plant. So now this is what we call it as a phenotypic character. Phenotype, this is phenotype. So we have to take its genotype. So now tall, we can take any alphabet, but we can take a appropriate alphabet capital T. Tall is dominant over dwarf, so that dominant characteristic can be represented by capital letter. So since it is homozygous, so we have to take both capital T only, and for dwarf characteristic, so we have to take genotypes like small t and small t. Since it is a homozygous dwarf, we have to take small t, and your alphabet should be taken corresponding small letter has to be taken from this dominant characteristic. Now when it is represented by alphabet, then it is called as a genotype. Genotype you can write with the alphabet. So now we have to take its gametes. So here capital T, when both capital T's are there, then we have to take only one capital T, and another one is from these two small t's, we can take only small t. So these are the gametes. So these are gametes of the parental generation. Gametes of parental generation. Then we have to cross it. So this capital T and small t, then we will get capital T and small t. These are F1 generation plants. So these are called as for F1 generation. Plants of F1 generation. And here we have to write it's a phenotype. We can say it's a phenotype. So now this is capital T shows dominant characteristic, and small t shows recessive characteristic. So that dominant will suppress the recessive. Therefore, phenotypically it appears tall, but it has a dwarf character also. Therefore, it is hybrid tall plant. Hybrid tall plant. All F1 plants are hybrid tall plants only. Now, so these F1 plants are when they are self-pollinated, capital T and capital T and capital T. So this is I am doing self-pollination, capital T, small t, capital T, small t. So self-pollination or selfing of F1 plants. Then we have to take their gametes. Now since these are different, okay, so that we should take both capital T, small t, and similarly here also capital T and small t. So these are the gametes of F1 generation. Gametes of F1 generation. So these are the gametes of F1 generation. So these gametes, so we must think these are the male gametes and these are the female gametes. So now gametes of F1 generation we have to cross by using a Punnett square. We have to draw a Punnett square. So now this is what we call it as a Punnett square. With the help of Punnett square, we can understand about the possible combination of generations in F2 generation. Okay, in this Punnett square, so later I will tell you what is Punnett square. Now just I will explain about the inheritance of one gene in second generation. So now this is male and this is female. Now I am writing here capital T, small t, and these are two male gametes, and this is capital T, small t. These are the female gametes. So male gametes are written on the top row and female gametes are written on the side left column. So now we can cross this capital T and this capital T. I am writing here capital T, capital T. So therefore this plant phenotypically and genotypically tall plant only. Now next, this capital T, this is small t I am writing here in this box, this capital T and a small t, and this plant is also tall plant, but this is hybrid tall plant since it carries one dominant characteristic and another one is a recessive character. And now second one is, so this is small t, this capital T, but we have to take this capital letter first, capital T, small t. This is also tall plant. This is also tall, but this is hybrid tall. And this small t, small t, small t, small t, and this plant is dwarf plant. So that this generation is called as F2 generation. So these are called as F2 generation plants. What Mendel got. Okay, so by observing this tabulation, we can understand that the total number of tall plants is to dwarf plants. We can calculate the number of tall plants, 1, 2, 3. There are 3 tall plants and only one dwarf plant is present. Therefore 3:1 is phenotypic ratio. So this is monohybrid phenotypic ratio. Suppose if you take the pure here, capital T, pure tall, hybrid tall, and pure dwarf, then we'll get 1:2:1 will get. This is what we call it as a monohybrid xenotypic ratio. So here we can understand about how particular gene, only one gene which is responsible for one particular characteristic is considered, and how it gets inherited to the successive generations. That is what we have understood. Okay, the total result, what is the result of so this cross mean in F1 generation, all F1 plants are tall plants. All F1 plants are tall only. Okay, and another one is in F2 generation, tall and dwarf plants appeared in the ratio of 3:1 phenotypically and 1:2:1 genotypically. So in this way, Mendel explained about inheritance of one particular gene. So this is what we call it as monohybrid cross also. Okay, for PUC in the examinations, this question may be asked for 5 marks. Based on inheritance of one gene, based on inheritance of one gene, Mendel proposed laws. Mendel proposed laws or principles. Laws or principles. Those laws or principles are called as Mendels laws or Mendels principles. He proposed mainly 2 laws. One is called law of dominance. Law of dominance. which he called it as Mendel's first law. Mendel's first law. And another law is called as law of segregation. Law of segregation. Law of segregation, which is also called as Mendel's second law. Mendel's second law, which is not there in our textbook, that is this law again called as, or also called as purity of gametes. Purity of gametes, but which is not mentioned in the textbook. Okay, now let's understand what this law of dominance states, what it explains. Okay, so law of dominance explains that it explains three different features. One, every character in an organism, character or characters, whatever character which are present in an organism, characters are controlled by discrete units. Discrete units called factors. Discrete units called factors. These factors, Mendel called it as factors. These factors are present in pairs. So Mendel, after conducting inheritance of one gene, he proposed two laws. Okay, one is called as law of dominance, which is what he called it as a Mendel's first law. So the first law states it has three characters. So one is characteristics of all organisms. The characters are controlled by discrete units called factors. Factors are always present in pairs. And these factors, when they are present in a pairs, they may be similar or they may be dissimilar. In a dissimilar pair of factors, in dissimilar pair of factors, okay, suppose factors which are present in dissimilar factors are present. For example, capital T. So these are the similar pair of factors. Capital T, small t. So these are the dissimilar pair of factors. In a dissimilar pair of factors, one dominates other. So here one dominates the other. So therefore this is what we call it as law of dominance. Next, Mendel's another law of segregation. Law of segregation, which is also called as Mendel's second law. Mendel's second law, or it is also called as purity of gametes. Okay, now what this law states, when a pair of contrasting characters, when a pair of contrasting characters brought together in hybrid, brought together in hybrid or brought together in F1 generation, they means pair of contrasting characters. They do not They do not blend. They do not blend or mix. They do not blend or mix, but they separate. But they separate. They separate. What they separate? Pair of contrasting characters. Separate or segregate. Or segregate. Separate or segregate. When at the time of gamete formation. At the time of gamete formation. So this is the simple way of giving statement to law of segregation. Okay, here I have underlined, I have marked, underlined for important statements. Pair of contrasting characters we have seen in inheritance of one gene. Okay, here pair of contrasting characters, capital T, one gamete, another one is a small t. So these two are brought together in hybrid. Just to see, capital T and small t are brought together in hybrid. But these two pair of genes are pair of contrasting characters when they are brought together in a hybrid. These are brought in a hybrid. They do not mix or they do not blend, but they get separated at the time of a gamete formation. Definitely they get separated at the time of a gamete formation. This is what we call it as a law of segregation. And to verify this law can also be verified how gametes or characters which are brought together in a hybrid, they get separated at the time of a gamete formation. We can understand through monohybrid cross only. So to verify this law, we can conduct monohybrid cross. Therefore, inheritance of one gene, monohybrid cross, or law of segregation. If question is there in the examination, you should write the same answer barring or excepting the definition. Okay. So suppose if you want to explain law of segregation with a suitable example, in the examination question may be asked, explain law of segregation with a suitable example, then you have to give the example of inheritance of one gene only. That is tall plant. When homozygous tall plant is crossed with homozygous dwarf plant, okay, then we get some result, and the same thing we have to go on explaining it. So therefore, this is the second law of Mendel.